I am Tammy Felt, founder of Capital City REIA. We touch, motivate, and inspire all real estate investors. Welcome to my town.
It's probably a generic question, but what's the most important lesson that you learned after your first deal that you wish you knew before?
The most important lesson, and what would you do differently? Would you like to hear that answer from everybody?
That might have been the best question of the night.
All right, so, well, no, all questions are good questions.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't take away from anybody else's question when I said that.
Right.
I'm just saying that's such a great.
No, and you know what, that's a great way for us to close out. Okay, so look though, guys, we can't go 30-minute conversations on the answer, right? So, really brief, very, very brief. Let's start down at the end. You know, we'll start this way since we went that way last time. We'll start this way. Brief.
Oh, Lord.
The one thing you've learned that is a takeaway you wish you would know now that you didn't know then.
There's not one, but I will tell you that last subject when they talk about switching the, well, I'll pick one. Good general contractor.
Perfect.
I would definitely say because of the loan being sold, because I lost a lot of sleep, that in dealing with the hard money lender, I would ask a good bit more questions. We were so excited that he was willing to work and it looked like a good deal on paper, that we really didn't, do our due diligence to make sure that he had all his ducks in a row and that we asked the right questions and signed the paperwork with some contingencies that we were either going to say yay or nay. And so I definitely will do that in a different way.
More due diligence and interviewing of your lender.
And interviewing the
Perfect.
lender and making sure that that contract has exactly what we expect and not
Right.
so much just what he expected from us, but what we expected from
Right, because a
from the
lot of
lender.
times we go in thinking lenders are interviewing us, and we also have the right to interview them. Yeah, great point. Heath.
Especially when you're starting out, add 10% to your budget. You're going to go over. When you're inexperienced, you don't really know what is going to go into the project. 10% might seem like a lot on a $50,000 rehab budget, but one or two things going wrong can add that. So that'll keep you a lot less stressed. And if you buy it right, you're going to still make money at the end, even if you do go through that 10% extra.
Great point. Wow, these are great, guys.
Yeah, we were the ones that went $60,000 over the project. 6-0.
Yeah, but see, they're still laughing. And I think the bruises on the knees are gone. yeah, they got back up.
But it goes to buying right because we bought, and there's more than
Bought
enough
it right.
in there. But I would make sure your contractor can handle the work. Either they're not too busy, but also they're liquid enough to, because you don't want to be paying them for work that they haven't done yet, to make sure that they have enough in reserves to be able to get there and complete the job.
So, the first question on the contract, would you have that contractor sign the contract or say that he's going to do it at that certain time?
I have 11 documents that contractors sign. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always contracts, but if they don't have any money, they don't have any money. And so
I'm talking about as far as completing the work or whatever.
yeah.
But you can have them sign contracts that they're going to complete the work. Adam and Heath did, I did, Stephanie did, and yet they still walk off the project. So you can put it in writing. I've actually been told by lawyers a contract's not worth the paper that it's written on, because law is nothing but an opinion or an interpretation. And when you get into a courtroom, he who has the most money and is better documented is who's going to win, bottom line. It doesn't matter if you have a contract. You can fight for it till the cows come home, right? So sometimes you got to get off the principle and say, and I'm a principal person, is it worth spending all that money because of a contract, or is it worth just moving on, getting the work done, because you would have spent more time, you know what I mean? So you got to assess it.
Attorney fees very high too.
Yep. All right, guys, let's keep moving on. Stephanie, what is the one thing you
one
wish?
thing is a big, hard thing, because it's more than one thing. But I would say make sure, well, in hindsight, I wish I had interviewed more contractors and had a better backup plan.
Mine is think twice before you go into a partnership with anybody. And it's kind of fake security. Get a mentor instead. That will do a lot more for you than doing partnership.
Mine would be knowing when to fire your contractor.
That was short. I would say don't stress too much on building your power team when you first start off. Everyone say get the lawyers, get this. Just build it up over time, develop your social capital, and then go from there.
Oh, you guys are hitting it, man. Awesome.
I would say, don't buy an occupied property.
Or at least leave something in the budget. I would say your criteria about what you want very clear and have the patience to wait until it comes along.
Oh, very well said.
Don't be embarrassed of lowballing your offer. And have emotional stability before you get into this thing.
What did you say again?
You have to be emotionally ready. Like, this is serious stuff.
Have to be brave, okay.
What a sense of humor.
To close it out, I would just say one of the things I'm struggling with this right now is you have the tendency to want to over-communicate with your contractors, with the folks you're working with, but you at the same time want to give them time to do the work that they said they were going to do. Make sure you can get a timeline of when they're expecting to get it done, and err on the side of over-communicating versus under-communicating.
Yep, if it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. So, would you guys help me give it up as big and as loud as you can? Who are just absolutely crushing it. Welcome to my town.